Welcome back, guys. We have another test. I thought I'll shed some light onto these two products. It's AVG Internet Security and Webroot SecureAnywhere. There's not that many tests out on the internet or YouTube, so I thought I'll cover these products for those who are using it or maybe are interested, and test some products that are not so super popular. Okay, so for AVG, we'll quickly have a look at the settings. Okay, so we haven't allowed any apps to be blocked or whatever. Exceptions is just our script. We'll look at the basic protection. As you guys can see, high sensitivity, fix automatically. Cyber capture, everything is enabled except hardened mode. Same for POPs. Anti-rootkit and anti-exploit is enabled as well. So now for file shield, as you guys can see, protect everything. Behavior shield, web shield, as we're going to test that today. Email shield, not testing, but it's there. So when we're going to do a deep scan, it will be high sensitivity. And all the advanced options are enabled. I'm not going to show the other ones because we're not going to use those scans. Ransomware protection is enabled. Smart mode, I know strict mode is literally strict, but let's see how well the smart mode performs. So these are the file types that are protected. Protected folders will be these folders. Let's go back there. Okay, so that was under basic protection. We have the enhanced firewall that is enabled and set to smart mode. Full protection. Remote access shield, that's enabled. Webcam protection is enabled. Sensitive data shield is enabled. Fake website shield is enabled as well. And that's about it for AVG. So for Webroot, nice and easy. I've mentioned this before, I do like the color scheme of Webroot. It looks really nice to me. Okay, so for scan settings, we enabled all the settings. Shield, all the shields are up. Firewall, heuristics is set to maximum. And that's about it. So let's look at PC security. So all the shields here are enabled, and our allowed script, so that's the script that's allowed to execute. Identity protection is enabled as well, and I think that's about it for Webroot. Just gonna quickly disable these two so that we can start extracting the malware. Once the malware is extracted, we will continue the test. Okay, and I think we're ready to rumble. Let's just, before we do, let's just make sure everything is up to date. I did update the AVG to the latest product version, but let's just double check if there's maybe not a new update. For Webroot, it's purely cloud based as far as I know. It does download like very small little updates to the endpoint, but as you can see, when you do update it, it says it's pretty much always up to date, and this is the latest version, 22.2. I think the last version I tested was 22.1 if I'm not mistaken. So we did update to this version. Okay, so Webroot is up to date. I think AVG would be as well. Okay, now that AVG is fully up to date, I think it's time to enable all the shields. Okay, so now everything is enabled. I think we're good to go. Okay, so for the first test, as you guys know, we're going to do the malicious website downloads to see the links that are opening up, if they can open, and also if they are able to download the malicious files. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so AVG is giving us a lot of pop-ups. That's really good to see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that one was blocked by Defender. So we have 3 that was blocked by Smart Screen, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 was blocked by Smart Screen, it seems, but it might also be blocked by AVG, as we do have 25, and I think there is about 30 or so links. Okay, so that's really good to see. Seems like Webroot is a bit slow, so let's just give it some time and then we'll look at the results. Okay, and Webroot is done, so let's quickly have a look-see. Okay, so this one seems to have been interrupted, or it might not be live anymore. Okay, so Webroot did block this one, so that's really good to see. Okay, Webroot did block that one as well. Blocked. Okay, so by the looks of it, I think Webroot did better than AVG, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if anything downloaded. Okay, so obviously Smart Screen is also asking to want to make sure if the files are safe. Okay, so these are all the interrupted files, because obviously we all need to make sure we keep them. But let's see what happens if we say keep. Let's see if it is actually blocked by Webroot. Keep anyway. So let's see if Webroot can protect us. Okay, I'm just gonna do those. Okay, so it does seem like we have 2 that have downloaded. Okay, it seems like via the website filtering that actually Webroot did better, but due to Smart Screen, I would say it's helping Webroot at this point, because we did not have this issue with, or not issue, but this outcome with AVG. It just blocked it straight out, nothing downloaded, and Webroot did actually manage to block a lot of these and kill the pages. But if you are a user that ignores warning messages and you say no, I still want to keep the file, these files actually still downloaded. So I'm going to leave these in the downloads folder, just to see, for interest sakes, if Webroot does pick it up via a full scan later during the test. But I would say by the looks of it, AVG did better, because no files actually downloaded. I would say Webroot just looks like it did better because of all the Webroot pages, but in my opinion, I think AVG protected the machine better than Webroot in this case. Okay, so I think it's time to jump into the malware tests. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so AVG gave us our first pop-up, just still waiting for Webroot, but I'm going to tend to this malware. If there's anything interesting or worth showing, I'll let you guys know, but for now I'm just going to wait for this test to finish. Okay guys, so we have a bit of a development. So AVG is still executing malware. It's, really slow, but at least it's running. For Webroot, I'm having a bit of issues with this VM. It was at a point where it was extremely slow, not responsive. I had to force restart it. After it came back up, it was not so lekker. I had to restart it again, force reboot, and obviously we are greeted with some awesome pop-ups. Seems like the desktop or something is broken, and then obviously if you refresh, then you get this. So obviously we lost the desktop background, we only have the recycle bin, so this whole profile seems to be broken. So if we do a refresh, it's complaining that it's not finding the system profile. So what I'll do is I'll try to execute the rest of the malware, but we're already seeing damage to this machine, unfortunately. I'll see what I can do. If I can't continue, then I'll just call it a day with this VM, jump right into the scans and things like that, but I'll see if I can continue to execute the remaining malware. Okay, and we're at the end of the test. The test for Webroot is still running, extremely slow, but I think I'm going to cancel the test. So for AVG, let's just quickly close everything that is open. Okay, now that it is open, let's quickly see what PE has to say. Just quickly going to go through it. Okay, so it seems like these two might be false positives because the scoring is low, but 30 out of 37, this should be definitely malware, and the 8 out of 73 should be a fairly new malware. Let's quickly see what Virus Toto has to say. Okay, so it seems that MaxSecure, McAfee, and Microsoft, Palo Alto, and Trend Micro is labeling this as malware. So seems like it is a form of a Trojan. So maybe the scoring will become higher later on. Okay. So I think I'm gonna restart the AVG machine, but I'm gonna do it through this because obviously it wants to remove this malware. So I'm gonna go ahead, restart it. Once it's up and running, I'll think I'm just gonna stop this test. It's just running way too long, and obviously we can see there's already damage. So I think there's actually no point in running the test, and then I'll start the full scan as well. Okie dokie, so the tests or the scans are actually finally done, except for Webroot. It seems to be stuck, so I'm not going to wait for it to finish the scan. It ran a lot of scans again after it found malware, and this was an additional one with the pop-ups that I said it must clean, but yeah, it's just taking forever to do so. It's stuck on this one for a very long time. So for AVG, we have 36 malware still remaining. It says I can't remove them, so I'm just going to say done, and then we'll quickly see what's running. Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything malicious running, so let's quickly have a look see at our startup items. Okay, so it seems like our machine does not have any startup items. For Webroot, it's a completely different story. As you guys can see, high CPU usage and high disk usage via Webroot. It's still stuck on D37. We do have ransomware infection on the machine as well, because Process Explorer was just working, and I closed it, and as I wanted to reopen it, I see it obviously has this new extension, and you can also see a lot of my test malware also has the AVOS2 file extension, So that's definitely ransomware infection. So a lot of them have the AVOS 2. Okay, and obviously this file extension here, not valid. So there's multiple infections on this machine. Let's see at our startup items. Sure, okay, cool. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 or 13 startup items. So not looking good for Webroot. So I'm going to force reboot the Webroot, and then we're going to start with the third-party opinion scans. I'm going to restart AVG as well. Once they're both up and running, we'll finalize the test, and we'll look at the final results. Okay, and all the third-party opinion scans are completed. So let's have a look see at AVG first. So for AVG, we do have this POP that is installed. This device doctor, so obviously it's been labeled as malware. Obviously malware on the desktop. Then we have under app data roaming, we have this exe file. And then directly under the C drive we have this exe as well. It's labeling it as suspicious. Could be maybe just a POP or something like that. But so far we do have 3 files outside our normal malware locations. For Webroot, doesn't seem like there's much. We do also have 1, 2 outside of the normal locations. The rest is under our malware extracted folder, so we'll just hit and close that. Okay, so Norton says it can't find anything. We'll close that one, and for this one it's only malware on the desktop. For AVG, it seems like we have app data roaming again, and then it's malware on the desktop, and then we've got 1 registry key. It seems like it is something that wanted to change the product key. I know during the test there was a pop-up to ask, do you want to replace your product key, and obviously I said yes. So obviously it's malware trying to either extract the product key maybe so that they can use your key for piracy. That's just my initial thinking. Okay, so for Webroot, it seems like it's a tad different. 360 versus 14. So obviously we have app data local, so we have a bunch of files there. Oh no, actually not. We only have 1. Yeah, it's only a couple, but then we do have malware on the desktop. Okay, and we have on the Windows temp, there is a batch file, and then we do have 2 registry keys that seems to auto run. Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll close that. Okay, so AVG, we do have that same doctor app again. Obviously it's labeled as POP, so that's fine. So all the POPs for the doctor program. Okay, program data as well, so that's all linked to that. Yep, still the same. So it's obviously listing every individual file of that as an individual. Okay, so it's on the, okay, cool. So now it's malware on the desktop. And then we have this under system 32. It's a scheduled task, obviously with that device doctor again, obviously to check for quote-unquote maintenance or registry problems. And then we've got a couple of registry keys as well, but they all seem to be linked to that device doctor, so they're all labeled as POPs at least. So it doesn't seem like it's too hectic. It's mainly all to do with that one program. So for Webroot, we have obviously app data, local temp, so that's the normal locations, roaming, desktop, okay. So then we got another scheduled tasks, more tasks, and then registry keys, quite a bit. So yeah, so you guys will see registry keys, they're all just POPs on this side, and on this side it's much worse. Yeah, okay, so let's quickly have and as you guys can see, desktop is obviously a bit broken, so I can't get to the desktop this way, but that's fine, we'll just jam it like this. Okay, so let's see if we do have any damage to our files. Okay, so it does seem like we have 3 files that are ransomware infected. So only 2 of our files seems to have survived. We only do have 3 in any case, but yeah. So let's look at that. Download, nothing there. Desktop seems okay. While we're here, let's open up Process Explorer. Okay, pictures. Okay, and it seems like let's just do this. Icons. So yeah, we definitely have damage to our pictures as well. But it does seem like it made duplicates on some of them. But there's definitely infection here. Okay, so we definitely have infection. So let's quickly see what's running on the systems. Let's just get Task Manager also open. Okay, so let's see on this side for AVG. Okay, it's still submitting the hashes. Let's have a look see at Webroot first. Okay, it doesn't seem like anything is running actively on the machine anymore, but this is not a 100% guarantee that that is the scenario. So we still do have quite a bit of startup items, unfortunately. Okay, so not looking good on that end. For AVG, let's have a quick squiz. Okay, seems like it's good. Startup items. Okay, so doesn't seem like we have any funny startup items. Yeah, I think this is the end for this test, guys. So let's do a quick recap. For AVG, I would say the cons are we do have some malware fragments on the machine, but it's not super bad considering also the amount of malware that we did test with. It was still quite a high number, so it's not that bad at all. Yeah, so it's difficult to say, but for Cons, I wouldn't say there aren't that much for AVG. Pros, that obviously we don't have any startup items, no ransomware infection, no other infections, no funny startup items. The only registry items according to Malwarebytes are all related, what I could see from this device doctor. So obviously we have these PUPs that installed, so that's maybe another con, is these PUPs, but otherwise AVG didn't do bad at all. It still did really good. For Webroot, I'm a bit disappointed in the results. It didn't do well at all. During the test there was also a lot of other complications where it got extremely slow, had to force restart the machine and things like that. Our profile seems to be broken as well. Desktop is not working correctly. If you obviously want to open up anything, it's just complaining about a lot of problems. We have a lot of startup items. We do have ransomware infection on the machine as well. There's other malwares all over the machine, and yeah, I can't really say anything positive about this program, unfortunately. I've also never been really impressed by Webroot. In all my tests that I've done that has not been uploaded, and the ones that are on the channel, it doesn't really do well at all. So which is sad to see. So between these two, you guys definitely know which one to choose, but I would say even Windows Defender at this point is doing better than Webroot, and that actually says a lot for Defender and says a lot for Webroot. So I unfortunately cannot recommend Webroot at this point still. They really need to maybe change their approach, because everything is purely cloud based. There's no real signatures. All the lookup etc happens in the cloud, and for me that can cause a delay in when threats are detected. So for me it's more of a reactive approach, because they rely heavily on the cloud and to analyze the file then and there. So it has obviously a couple of drawbacks, but yeah, I would say this is the end of the test, guys. AVG clearly is the winner here. What are your thoughts about this video? If you guys are using these products or know of anyone that's using these products, show them the video so that they can understand and see how well the products perform. But otherwise, we are working on some more tests that will be uploaded soon. Once again, thank you for all the new subscribers that came to our channel. We do really appreciate all the support, and we are making these videos so that we all are better informed. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys again.